Yo, what's up, guys? I'm back again tonight doing another fan casting of my Superman universe. Tonight, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be focusing on a little bit more of his rogues gallery, and I don't know anybody else better to start this off with than Lex Luthor himself. And honestly, for me, there is no other man out there that has the ability, the poise, the intimidation factor um, than Michael Rosenbaum. To me, he played one of the best versions of Lex that we've had in um, years, if not the best version of Lex, at least to me. I felt like had a lot of that he very much had that intelligence that you need to associate with Lex, but he also had that creepiness. He had that man that's always in control kind of vibe to him. And I really do feel like that's something that any kind of actor, but particularly somebody that's going to be playing a character like Lex Luthor, kind of needs to have. And honestly, I feel like the way that he just exuded the role, it just kind of like came off of in waves, that it was a role that he was really born to play. Um, and the way that I have kind of my Lex Luthor being portrayed is this man that's behind the scenes. He very rarely gets his hands dirty unless it's absolutely something that's absolutely needed to be done. Um, and one of my favorite takes on Lex, at least one of my favorite takes for his introduction, was the Secret Origins comic, where you had Lex having a raffle where he said he could grant any kind of wish that anybody had in Metropolis. And it was his way of saying, I'm here, I'm going to be your savior, worship me, basically. And I really do see Michael Rosenbaum being that kind of character where he is doing all these things behind the scenes, and he's doing these things to kind of create an image for himself, but yet everything is sinister behind everything that he's doing. And I really do feel like he had a great relationship with Tom Welling. I can see him having a great relationship with Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill and Tom Welling are a lot alike in a lot of regards, in my opinion. So I do really see him having a nice kind of like brotherly relationship with him, which I do like the Lex Luthor kind of relationship with Clark. I do like what happened on Smallville, where you did have that nice dynamic between the two, and I would like to see that kind of portrayed further. But yeah, I really do feel like Michael Rosenbaum is really the only actor that can successfully portray Lex Luthor. Now, moving on, we're going to be moving to probably one of the biggest bads of Superman's career, as well as his father's former best friend, and that's going to be General Zod. And honestly, I don't feel like there's anybody better suited to this role than Rufus Sewell. I don't think this man looks like the perfect Zod. He's done a lot of roles where he has had that kind of composure. He's done a lot of roles where he does exude, again, this kind of power to him. And I feel like he does have slight arrogance to him that you need for a General Zod character. But I also feel like with Zod, you also need somebody that's going to have believe everything they're doing is for the right cause. And that is something that I do feel like General Zod was doing. He was, in his own way, trying to save Krypton. And I would absolutely love to see this man just portraying that that we did get. So I really do feel like Sewell would be perfect for this role. And I really would love to see him with the father kind of role with Lurzad. So I really do feel like that would be a perfect kind of role for this man to have. Um, and all you got to remember, when you got Zod, you're gonna get Ursa. Um, and for me, nobody really would be able to pull off this role more than Carrie Ann Moss. Again, she has the looks. She's done a lot of roles in the past where she's kind of pulled off a lot of characters like this. I do feel like with her role, it would have to be kind of a lot of like the role that she had as Trinity in The Matrix. But I really do feel like she needs to take that to a 10 and kind of just be as dark and as demented as possible with this role. I do feel like it's something that she could easily pull off, and it's something I would absolutely love to see her do. But I do feel like she would have to, again, be a little bit more of a darker kind of character, which I'm not sure if she could easily pull off as dark as I would love to see the character be. Because to me, Ursa's kind of Zod has more of a moral code, where I feel like Ursa doesn't. I would love to see that kind of portrayed, and I do wonder if Carrie Ann Moss could do that. But I would absolutely love to see if she can. And now, you can't have Zod and you can't have Ursa without the powerhouse of the trio, and that is Non. Not many people know this about Non. He was actually a good friend of Jor-El that was experimented on and basically lobotomized in a lot of incarnations of the comics, and it's just this big, giant brute of a character that General Zod has kind of taken on. And I really do feel like nobody would portray that better than Nathan Jones. He has the physique. He has the look. I would like to see a slightly more or less dumbed down version of the character, where you do kind of see that intelligence popping through every once in a while. But he needs to stay this kind of physical, imposing character, and I really do feel like nobody would portray it better than Jones. Now, I do want to say, you can't have Superman without the guy that absolutely destroyed Krypton, and that is Brainiac. He's this character that we've known throughout comics. He got kind of a reimagining in the Superman animated series. He got another reimagining in Smallville. But I don't feel like this man gets enough love. Not really many people are as familiar with him as I would like, and I do feel like he is a perfect villain for a movie, especially with today's age where everything's so technological. So for me, the perfect person playing Brainiac, or at least Brainiac's main body, because you do have so many different versions of Brainiac. I do want to bring on so many different versions. The drones that he has, everything, would be Billy Zane. This man, I feel like he has the perfect voice for the role, especially if they were to, I don't want them changing it up too much, but giving a slightly more alien kind of quality. But I feel like Billy Zane has this very intelligent voice, where it just sounds like it comes from an older kind of world, and I would absolutely love to see this with Brainiac, because I do feel like Brainiac's just this character that comes from more of a civilized culture, which he does come from a civilized culture. Kolu is more of it's just all fully about education, and Brainiac is something that took that civilization to the max. But yeah, I absolutely would love to see this man playing him. I don't know if I want to have him more of that bulky look that we got, or if I want to see him a bit more toned down in the muscles. I'm kind of on the fence whether I want him to be this guy that could go toe to toe with Superman, or if I'd rather have him more as this, I'm going to beat you with my intelligence. I feel like that he needs to be in like middle ground between the two, and I feel like Zane could easily pull that off. Now, moving on, we're also going to bring in another character that's been very prevalent over the last 20 some odd years, or even more than that, but I feel like more so the last 20 years, and that's going to be Lex Luthor's bodyguard / chauffeur, Mercy Graves. This character, she's had so many different origin stories in the comics, and I do feel like a lot of the things would be very beneficial to her if you kind of brought them all together. But I absolutely love the idea of Mila Jovovich playing her. As we all know, she's a little bit more known for her Resident Evil role, so she's very physically attuned to being able to perform the stunts and everything that would be needed for the role. I do feel like she'd be perfect as somebody that is supposed to be Lex's bodyguard. And one of my favorite origin stories for her in the comics was that she is a Amazon, actually. And I do feel like one of the beneficiaries to this being that it would be a great way to introduce Artemis's tribe, because we've gotten Wonder Woman's tribe, but there's a splinter group, which is the tribe that Artemis comes from, and I would love to see that kind of story told, and that would be a very great introduction to the character of Artemis down the line. But another thing that I absolutely loved about her was her portrayal that we had on Young Justice, where she had that cybernetic arm. And I would like to see kind of like a split of those two kind of qualities, where she's this ultimate warrior because she's an Amazon. She's been trained for centuries, so she's very old. But Lex is kind of given these upgrades. So yeah, I absolutely would love to see Mila Jovovich playing this role, and I feel like nobody would do it justice. Moving on, we also have a character that I feel like has been done very little. We just got him in the brand new Superman movie, starting off the brand new DC animated universe. But really, only other than that, we've only gotten him in the Superman animated series, and I think it was like an episode or two in Young Justice, and every kind of incarnation of him is very different. You've had very kind of a muscled look to this character. You've had a very overweight, obese kind of role. I look at him, but I absolutely would love to have Parasite done right in the comics. I feel like for Parasite, you need this not athletic looking character for him. And I don't want to say this about the actor, but I would love to say Sean Gunn immediately came to mind for me. I absolutely love a lot of his performances that we've had. I really did love his character in the Guardians of the Galaxy. He's done a lot of motion capture, which would absolutely be perfect for this character. But no, I absolutely feel like Sean Gunn would be absolutely perfect for a character of this kind of caliber. And to me, again, I don't want a overbeast. I don't want a super athletic, he almost looks like Superman kind of character. I would like slightly more skinny, kind of like a runner's build look to him, and that kind of explains why he's always hungry. He's constantly burning through his energy, and he just needs anything and everything he can get. There's been so many also different portrayals of how he looks in the comics. One of my favorites is something I just recently found of the character. And it really just looks like he's in this containment suit. And he kind of broke free. Which is how I see him. I see him, he was an experiment by Lex. He broke out and he's just constantly running around in this containment suit. But yeah, I absolutely love this character, and I would love to see more of him because he's such a tough person for Superman to kind of face. There's really no easy way for him to face him because honestly, just touching him is losing the battle. So I feel like he's one of the characters that would be absolutely perfect to be in a movie, and somebody that would be perfect to do with a Superman kind of character, because so many directors and writers are so unsure of how to approach doing a Superman movie and trying to approach having a human character kind of face him, because nothing really hurts him. But that's what's perfect about Parasite, is he can take anything that Superman gives and turn it around on him. So for me, Parasite, Sean Gunn playing Parasite is perfect. Moving on, we're going to go for the Galaxy's Greatest Bounty Hunter. And I really see nobody better doing that role of Lobo than Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy's been in so many different things lately. He played Bane in The Dark Knight Returns, which honestly wasn't my favorite take on the character. Or Dark Knight Rises, but he wasn't really my favorite take on the character at all. And not that what we got in the 90s, but the Batman Forever and those movies, I didn't like that at all either. I feel like one of the best portrayals of the character was what we got in the animated series, as well as Young Justice did the character extremely amount of justice. But no, I absolutely would love to see Tom Hardy taking on this role. He has done so many different roles in the past, but I feel like everything kind of, if you put all of them together, would absolutely fit this character. And I feel like he has the look. He does have that ruggedness that Lobo needs. He has that full attitude where he's just a complete badass. I really do feel like, aside from, say, maybe Josh Brolin, nobody could do this character the justice that is needed for him. And I feel like Tom Hardy kind of is a bit better than Josh Brolin would be in this regard to this character. So for me, Tom Hardy all the way as Lobo. Finishing things off with at least this list of villains, because I do have a little bit more to go, is going to be General Sam Lane's guy that he wishes was his son, and kind of Lex Luthor's first real experiment to fight Supes, aside from Parasite, is going to be John Corbin, Metallo. And for me, there's nobody in my mind that could better portray the role than Josh Duhamel. We have gotten him in a lot of military kind of roles in the past. In the Transformers movies, he did it on his old Las Vegas show. But no, I really do feel like this character, he has kind of that attitude about him, where he could kind of think that has to do what he has to do to take down Clark. He is kind of, I feel like he would be very well suited having that kind of unrequited feelings for Lois, where he does have very strong ideas of how the relationship between the two of them should go, where she should love him because her father loves him, to the point where he's almost seen as a son-in-law without having to be part of the family. And then I absolutely would love to see how he would portray the role as Metallo once he has had that transition. Kind of taking those feelings, the anger and everything, and just multiplying that. And I really do feel like that's the kind of role that you have to have. That's the kind of way you have to portray Metallo, where you have to take all of his human feelings that he had at the beginning, and you just have to max that out. Because I do feel like this is a character that is being kind of corrupted by not only the kryptonite that he's had, but he's being corrupted by his anger towards the situation. He's being corrupted by his lust for vengeance, his lust for proving that he was right about the situation, that General Lane was right. And then you have his anger towards Superman for putting him in the situation that he's in. So I do feel like no better person could fit this role again than Josh Duhamel. But yeah, that said, guys, that's gonna be it for this list. I do have another list that will be coming out in the next few days, finishing off Soup's, at least my version of the Rogues Gallery at the moment. I will be doing more down the road once I do add more names to this list. But that will be it for right now. If you could like this video, let me know what you liked, what you disliked about my list. If you have any different kind of ideas, I do love hearing that. You know, any kind of comment helps me knowing what you guys like, knowing what you didn't like, if I have, you know, if you felt like my ideas were wrong or anything like that. But yeah, like, comment, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell down below so you do know when I am sending out new videos. Yeah, have yourselves a great one, guys. See you in the next one.